Hi, my name is Lisa Zook, and I'm the Monitoring, Evaluation, and Learning Advisor at Amplio. I want you to think about your day. How many times have you been asked to give feedback on a product or service that you have been using? My guess is that it's fairly often. And what has enabled you to do that? You're literate, you're connected to the internet, and you're likely speaking one of the most common languages in the world. So computers and machines can understand what you're saying. So how does your ability to provide feedback change if you're illiterate, not connected to the internet, or speaking a minority language? This is a challenge that we often face in international development. It's simply hard to reach the communities where we're working, and it's even harder to get honest reflections from project participants, whether that be because of geography, language, gender norms, or power dynamics. So while we all strive to amplify community voices in our programming, it really isn't easy. At Amplio, we have been exploring how our technology might overcome some of these challenges. For those of you who are not familiar with the Talking Book, this device was developed to be used in rural and remote communities. It's a battery-operated device that plays educational messages on demand through this speaker. The device also has a microphone, which is what I really want to focus on today. The microphone allows any community member to record a message in his or her local language and on any topic that community member is thinking about, whether that be in response to a message that they heard on the Talking Book or perhaps something else that's happening within the community. This microphone is really an open door to better understand the community in which a project is operating. You'll see here a photo of a community health worker in Kenya recording user feedback during a mother's group. Here is a woman in Ghana recording a message after listening to the Talking Book in her home. So you might be thinking, great, problem solved. We have a way to hear from community members using the Talking Book, but it isn't that simple. Because while we overcame one challenge, we actually found that we had created a new challenge. And that was that we gathered so many user feedback recordings that our partners were really struggling to make sense of it all. And as a monitoring and evaluation specialist, the thought that this data source of all these recordings were not being put to use really bothered me. So this year, we've been working to develop a new user feedback processing system. The system allows analysts to access user feedback recordings through a web-based application. Once logged in, the system randomly selects a user feedback recording from the project and plays it for the analyst. The analyst can listen to the message, they can speed up, they can slow down, depending on what's needed to really make sure that they're able to hear what the project participant is saying. The analyst answers questions about the recording after listening to it. So for example, they might be asked, what topic is the speaker talking about? Or what follow-up action is needed to make sure we're addressing what this community member said. The user then presses submit, the page refreshes, and a new user feedback recording is provided for processing. A few things about this system: multiple analysts can access the recordings at one time. You can filter the recordings by language, so an analyst that only speaks one local language can filter the messages that he or she needs to listen to. There's a red button here that allows you to classify a recording as not feedback. You might imagine that we get lots of recordings that are simply background noise or chatter, and this allows the analyst to quickly identify those messages and move on. There are a few questions that flag a recording, meaning that this recording is so important or poignant or needs follow-up that a project manager should listen to it and take action. And then the questions here that follow a recording are fully customizable. So we work with our partners to develop a survey that aligns to their project's monitoring and evaluation framework or theory of change, or if there's just questions that they have that they're interested in discussing. In doing so, we are transitioning from all of these qualitative messages to this, something that project managers can take, interpret, and act upon. We've been fortunate enough to pilot this new processing system with our partners at CARE and UNICEF We're currently working with 6 new partners throughout Sub-Saharan Africa and Southeast Asia to effectively gather, process, and put to use this user feedback. If you're interested in exploring how your project might benefit from embedding user feedback into decision making, or if you're interested in talking with us about how to process large quantities of qualitative data, please reach out. We look forward to collaborating with you.